What's up, people? How you guys doing? Whew. Hope everybody is doing all right this evening. Sorry I'm a little late getting on today, but we're gonna have a brief little discussion on this 2-minute meetup. It's supposed to be 2 minutes, but I ain't gonna lie, this time it's definitely not gonna be 2 minutes, because something I want to share with you guys that honestly is my fault that I didn't share with you before. I was having a conversation on today with a new podcast guest. You guys gonna be excited. I'm giving you, and that's why I tell people to make sure you on these 2-minute meetups and stuff like that, because I give you a sneak peek of what we talk about. And this young lady is doing some amazing things. She had just got started, and I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna steal the thunder of the podcast. But we were talking because we were talking about deals that fall out of escrow, and this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. They always talk about the glitz and the glamour of doing the deals, but they don't never talk about what happens when that deal fall out of escrow, or what happens when that buyer don't perform, what happens when that seller tries to back out of a deal. So there's a lot of reasons why deals fall out of escrow. So one thing my wife said, if you guys listen to the podcast on Monday, you can't count your chickens before they hatch. So you can have a deal in escrow, have a buyer lined up, and you're like, okay, I got $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 coming on this deal, you know, and you start making provisions and getting ready to, you know, redo some marketing, pay off some bills, get caught up on some things, and the deal falls out of escrow. So what are some of the things that can make your deal fall out of escrow? And I did a video on this some time ago. So first of all, let me say what's up to some people. Hey, Kendall, D. Royal, who is that? Laura, just a few of you guys. Rothschild, or who is that? I'll just say Noel. So you get this property, you did your marketing, driving for dollars, or your Facebook ads, or you know, whatever, you did your marketing. You had the gall, you got on the phone, you talked to the seller. So you did step 1, you did step 2, you talked to the seller. You did step 3, you ran the ARV and got the comps, negotiated, and you got the property under contract. Step 4. Step 5, you got the buyer into the property. You know, everything is going good. Step 6, the buyer signs the contract or the assignment agreement. You're ready to go. Everything is good. Everything is over to the title company. You guys are locked in and ready to rock and roll. So again, you're thinking everything is good, everything is about to happen. I'm about to get this first deal closed or this next deal closed, and you get the wind knocked out of you because of one provision in your assignment agreement that you didn't account for. And that provision is, so let's go over. So when you have that contract, you have everything in there that's geared to you. So that contract, yes, you want to be fair to the seller, but you also want to make sure you look out for your own interest. So you got your inspection period in there, so you can, you know, if you can't find a buyer, you can back out of the contract, which I don't, you know, condone that. Try and make sure you get the deal in good enough position to where you can always find a buyer. So in that contract, everything is geared towards you, the buyer, correct? You know, that's what everybody teach you. Gear the contract towards the buyer. So you have your inspection period and everything like that. And then next you find that buyer and you say, you find your end buyer and you say, okay, I'm assigning all of the terms and conditions in my end contract and my contract over to you. That's what everybody tells you, is hey, assign your contract over to you. But what they fail to mention is you have to have a provision clause in your assignment agreement. And if you don't have this clause, you can lose your deal and your buyer can back out and get their earnest money back. So we talked about this on the podcast today because she got started and she lost her deal because of this provision. So what she did was she assigned her contract. Again, the contract was slated and geared towards her. So she assigned it over to the buyer, which he was very, very savvy. So he kind of walked the property and everything like that, put up earnest money, everything is going good. And she wasn't constantly touching that buyer, saying, hey, how's things going? Earnest money is in, we're looking to close such and such a date and time. So this is one thing that I want to tell you guys is throughout the time that your property is under contract, make sure you're constantly following up with your buyer and your seller, checking in with your seller. Hey, how's everything going? Everything is in escrow. We're checking title, things like that, just soft touch points. Okay, so she got to the closing table. This was day of close, and she got a call, and the buyer said, hey, you know what? I'm not performing. I'm not gonna go through with the deal. And she was under the impression, okay, well, I'll just take your earnest money. But guess what? She called the title company, and the title company released the earnest money that the buyer put up and refunded it back to the buyer. So how can this happen? How did this happen? Well, this happened because, one, she didn't have that the earnest money was non-refundable. But that wasn't the kicker. Everybody knows that you put that the earnest money should be non-refundable. But the kicker is what she didn't do is she stated in that assignment agreement, which everybody tells you, is that this assignment agreement is allowing or authorizing the end buyer to step into your shoes, and all of the terms and conditions in the original contract is awarded to the new buyer. So guess what happened? If you do not have a clause in your assignment agreement stating that there's no inspection period offered to the end buyer, they can always back out of that deal. So you have to look at that assignment agreement and just make sure that you have a clause in there saying that all terms and conditions, yes, are available to the new buyer. However, the new buyer does not have an inspection period to back out of this contract. So once they put that earnest money up, they cannot back out of the contract without them losing that earnest money. So it was something that she lost. She ended up losing. She lost the deal, lost the earnest money, $2,500 that was supposed to be secured to her, just because she didn't have that one provision in the assignment agreement. Sorry guys, I'm trying to cook dinner at the same time. So there's numerous ways that you can lose out on your deal, but just kind of talking with her about that, I didn't think about it, but I already knew in our assignment agreements, in our contracts, that we say, all terms and conditions are awarded to the new buyer, except the new buyer does not have the inspection period, does not convey with the purchase contract to the assignment agreement. So with that being said, guys, you have to make sure you read your documents correctly. A lot of gurus will jump out here and tell you, just assign the contract, just assign the contract. But if the terms are not clearly set forward in that assignment agreement, you will lose your deal. So again, if you need the proper purchase contract, if you need the proper assignment agreement that spells everything out, make sure you contact me. You can go to marcusemaloney.com. You can get all of that information there. If you don't see the assignment agreement, I only give this out to the people that jump on social media with me, and that's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you're not connected with me through these mediums, you will not have access to it. So if you want that, make sure you DM me or leave me a comment below, and I'll send that right over to you. So Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you, who is that? Right Way, Eric. Yes, you got to do things the right way. Make sure your assignment agreement does not let the inspection period convey over to your end buyer. Because if you do, they'll be able to back out of that contract without any recourse due to them. So guys, enjoy your Wednesday. Thank you for being here for this 2-minute meetup on today. I like to try and give you guys fresh content, good content. And remember, that podcast, we talked about all of this, me and the young lady. Very, very informative. I'll let you guys know when that podcast is going to air. You already see, I helped my wife close her first deal last week. She's happy, we're all happy. So if you want to learn how to close that first deal, just keep following me. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm not trying to get you to sign up for anything. Just make sure, that you take the words that I say and put them into action. So guys, good night, good evening. Let me get back to cooking dinner, and I'll see you guys next week or this Friday. All right, adios.